Hello and welcome back. Hour 2. Also, I did neglect to point out in the first part of the show that I am wearing my totally awesome Swan Song t-shirt.
Yep, that
Roleplay
is.
Swan Song, which is basically... I'm going to take a wild guess here uh, that is also the thing that introduced you to Stars That Number Myth.
Yep,
Um,
that it is.
and introduced roleplay in general, introduced me to role-playing games, so I owe a lot to this show.
So now who I have to blame. Is that the sole reason
Yep.
this has sucked up endless hours of my life due to you, Finbar? It's all
Pretty
them.
much, pretty much.
It's because of that.
There's
Okay.
also a wonderful set of videos with a man dressed like C-3PO dancing to Intergalactic.
That did it
we
too?
also should blame on them. That's pretty great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway.
If you guys are just showing up here in chat and you've never been here before, we are a roleplay channel. We are here every day of the week except Fridays.
Well, it's
And
alternate Fridays these days.
yeah. We do roleplay all the time. It's pretty sweet. It's a lot of fun. We're very interactive. So interactive, in fact. If you click that follow button, guys, and bring us to 1250, that's 1,250 followers. We are 9 away since the last time I checked. We can do a viewer decision, which means you guys will start a straw poll. We'll start a straw poll. We'll put in your suggestions, and everybody in chat can vote on the top suggestions, and then we will throw that in the game immediately. Last time, 2 weeks ago, it was Adam Sandler in space had to show up, and he's like a robot, right? He's a robotic Adam Sandler.
He's a robot VI loaded with the person.
Yep.
Oh, and there we go. Thank you, Shadowfight89, for the follow.
There you are.
He's
Thank
also
you. So-
technically called Adam Spandler.
His name is
Adam
Adam Spandler. He has a VI that has elements of the personality of Adam Sandler.
awesome. And thank you guys.
Along
We have
with his life work.
8
life's work.
more.
Yeah.
So
Just
We can get
continue
there
to like
and
fill
screw
my
with Finbar's life.
my poor sector with random nonsense.
Also, if you want to change the game now, immediately in real time, you could scroll down to our donation panel. We've got a program that you guys can follow along with and play and change the game.
Yes.
And you can give us advantage, or we'll figure out what that means. You can name a PC or NPC. You can also make us roll on a D10,000 Wild Magic Surge table, which is hilarious. So we had that.
There's the Metamorphica
last week
if
as
we want to
well.
get some interesting things going
Yeah.
on.
So yeah, guys,
Yeah.
click that follow button. Also, scroll
all the
down and check
things.
out how you guys can play along with us. And welcome.
Most importantly. Right. Let's smuggle some shit. So,
Get the smug
you
on.
are aboard the Texas Ranger. Why did I call it the Texas Merchant in my notes? What the hell is this?
Because it is a merchant.
It is a merchant. I think I was saying that as I wrote it. So yes, you're aboard the Texas Ranger. This is a Spike Level 2 ship, which is pretty common actually in this sector. So it will take... You've got 2 systems of jump, so it'll take about 6 days to get there. So yeah, like, do any like particularly interesting scenes happen? Like 6 days in a spaceship?
Yeah. I think... What is it? Evie? Evelyn? What's your character's name?
Yep. Evelyn,
yes to
Evie,
both. All right.
Alan, Teresa.
So
Yes. To
I think...
Evie for short if I like you.
Okay, so... yeah, Gideon's going to come up to Evelyn. Howdy there. You hear like a soundbite. Hi there, Toots.
Hello.
He goes, sorry, well, anyway, you said you did not want to get back to, Anise. Why is
Yes.
that?
Well, first of all, it's a bit of a shithole. I managed to get to the better off planet, Al Shahaf, and I was doing very well for myself. And then an annoying little bastard made sure that I could never come home again. So it's a quite complicated story, really. I won't bore you with the details, but mostly
Please
if I
do.
go back,
I have time. We have approximately 4 days and 53 minutes until we have our estimated arrival.
Auto, stop bothering the lady. you need something to do like the rest of us and play cards. I think at this point, like, some of you are being taught the finer points of Space Texas Hold'em, which is, of course, the only game he plays.
Yeah.
Aboard the Texas Ranger.
Obviously.
Yeah. I guess, like,
You wanna play cards again,
difficulty. Noticeable difficulty holding cards with talons.
Yeah. It's just like has them like pierced
it's only
into
two
his
cards,
claws.
so I should be able to hold that fine.
Just very gently trying not to go.
Can we do a gambling roll to see how well they do
Ooh,
that?
Sure.
yeah.
You can
Yeah,
oppose
finally, you guys gonna
gambling.
use
roll
that
this guy.
gambling.
Can
I
can
would
I
like
Each
to
doing a
gamble
gambling.
as well.
Wait,
can I do it with charisma? Because I'm trying to bluff everyone.
Um.
I don't have gambling.
Yeah,
should
you
we
can roll with
just make a
charisma
luck
or
roll?
int.
It's poker.
I mean, there's an element of. Is there a gambling skill?
There is a gambling
Yes.
skill.
Yeah, there is.
If there's a gambling
We've
skill,
got it.
it's not a rock roll.
Yes, and I
Ignore
finally
one.
succeeded.
So
in some kind
I
of-
would say either go with your charisma or your whiz, whichever's better.
Oh well.
And I need to find what the hell I'm going to use as this guy's stat block.
Surely we can win money off each other as well.
Absolutely. How much is everyone betting? I mean, obviously you can't bet very much.
Yeah, I mean, I already know that I won.
Actually, no. We'll. So what's the deal? Let's figure out how much everyone's betting.
And then
Are
we.
you, or you,
Let me roll D100.
I'll put.
oh, no, okay, we'll keep this.
So we should say how much each person's betting. You
No,
say
no.
how much
We'll
the
just do
NPC is
like. Well,
betting.
I'll just do a rough difference.
39. You what I'm betting?
Yeah, this is fine.
If everyone says how much they're betting, then each make a gamble roll, including you, and whoever gets the highest gets the pot.
Yeah, but the thing is that like people might win. Like for instance, Repsort might have a great streak at first, which means he actually has money to then bet, which he then loses all of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or something like that. So okay, this guy finally. If you're in Notos, roll your gambling skill, add your int or your wisdom, whichever's better. No, sorry, your wisdom or your charisma, whichever's better. And this guy will have. He's definitely he plays a lot of cards. That's what he does on long haul journeys. If it's not against people, it's against a VI. So he knows the basics of poker. And I'm gonna say he's a shrewd enough man. So let's give him that.
Well, I didn't win.
You did not. In fact, Evelyn sweeps up eventually. So I think.
It's one of my skills.
Yeah. So, how much money do you have again, Notos?
75.
All right. I'll take 35 credits off you, as you lost absolutely. But maybe you like you're smart enough to go. You know what? No, mate. Yeah, I think I think that kind of. You got up at first, Repsort, but then you drop down. You eventually end up losing you lose like 5 credits, and you notice like you've gambled enough to go. You know what? I'm good. Backing out. Don't have the money to lose right now.
The lady's too pretty. It's not a fair contest.
Yeah. So you drop 5 credits of like your own money, and then go. Yeah. Fine. I think you very confidently sat down and put 5 credits in when everyone else was putting like 50 or whatever,
Yeah.
and I've just gone like, and then just bet your way up and lost your way down again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gideon, I think you maybe make like 10 credits, but that like it's just a thing of like this was how much you managed to walk away with in this relatively low stakes game.
Yeah.
This guy loses a bit of money, and I think there's a last little betting rush near the end, and I'll give you 75 credits.
To who? Me?
Oh, no, to Evelyn.
Oh, cool.
It's a very
That's
low stakes
so
game because none of
kind
you
of
have
you,
any
Finn.
money to bet. Welcome, Stang214. Thank you for the follow.
Thank you guys. 7 more.
How many did you say you'd give me, Finn? 75?
75. Yeah, there's
Cool.
a bit of a like once it like everyone else kind of drops out, and it's just left as you and Walker, and then he's like, all right, well you've won a lot of the pot, and he actually has money, so he's like, fuck it, let's do this, and then eventually drops like 75 credits. Like, fuck, feeding you people and carrying you for free, whatever. Yeah.
We are not carrying. You are not carrying us for free. We are, in fact, getting you some cargo. You're welcome.
Auto.
Yes.
I'm gonna go check the nav.
Would you like
I'm
assistance?
just gonna ceaselessly boast about wiping the deck with them at poker.
Good.
for
Good
the
stuff.
entire 6 days
Good stuff.
because I can.
Yeah, obviously.
You know, you're a really bad winner, Evie. Like,
Perhaps you're just a bad loser.
no,
bad
I'm a
player.
fairly fine loser. Like,
That
I
too.
lost, I cut my losses. That's what you do. You gotta know when to cut and run, girl. Get cocky like that, you'll get fucked over by someone close to you.
Good job, girl. Now don't get penisy.
I'll get
alright.
penisy.
There's some time spent like fiddling with navigation charts.
You mentioned nav computer, and he probably Gideon probably walked over.
Yeah.
I guess Otto.
Yeah, he gives you kind of a look. I think he very specifically calls you Auto.
Yeah, because he knows me.
Yeah, but also he refuses to call you Gideon.
Mm-hmm. Because he knows Gideon.
Yeah.
New Gideon.
Yeah, so he's like, alright, so what's your... I think at this point it's like maybe a couple days out of the system that we're actually going to be in for this, which Batul, a couple days out of Batul. And he kind of like gives you a bit of a look and goes, right, so what's your plan, Auto? I'm hoping you have one.
My plan.
I mean, you guys have had time to discuss this, so feel free to discuss this
Well,
at a previous date in character, and then tell him.
Sure. My plan is to make it up on the fly.
You just see, like, this cabinet gets opened that's next to the nav computer, and just a bottle of, like this 2/3 bottle full of whiskey and a generous measure
I mean,
is poured.
we may be wild cowboys, but we're not quite that cowboy with our plans, are we, boys? We know what we're doing. What have we already decided that we're doing?
We
Yeah,
are
no,
wild
this-
cards.
Yeah,
aren't
no. This is now like, we know totally what we're doing.
You've been
Flashback
on
to
this
us
shit for,
deciding
like,
what we're doing.
5 days. You've
Yeah.
had time
So-
to have a chat.
we? Yeah.
So what's our plan for space infiltration?
Infiltration.
Spin infiltration. We've established a plan.
Infiltration.
We kind of maybe this is a planning committee. We've established
Yeah.
around a table, and it's like, all right then, boys, and girl, and bird, and robot,
And me.
and robot. How are we getting in? How are we smuggling ourselves in here?
I am a Dongertron 17. I'm not a robot.
My apologies. I'm still new to the whole robot thing. Sorry.
Dongertron 17.
Sorry. I'll get there. So,
you.
fellow Dongatrons, birds, women, and me, how are we getting ourselves into this system?
So we're
Ideas.
not allowed in the system at all?
You're fine in the system. The issue is,
Getting planet
so, yeah, this guy doesn't have, like, merchant clearance.
Yeah.
And his ship is, like... He doesn't have, like, the right papers for customs, and, like, his... I think, like, so basically, if you're... So, people here who've flown into America from another country know you have to go through the wonders of the Esther, and all the weirdness it brings. Like, this, like, planet has similarly, like...
Yeah.
Not
Tight
quite
security.
full-on draconian, like, security, but, like, it has a lot of it has protocols. And his, like, whatever clearance he had has been revoked. So once you're in system, you can try and connect to their computers and try and fake something, or you can try and claim to be a different ship that you think might be
Could
allowed,
I-
or whatever.
Cultural criminal for someone on the planet who can get us a
Absolutely.
merchant thing?
I'm going to point out one very obvious... So, like, this planet is a planet that hates psychics.
Yeah.
Half of these protocols are to ensure, like, yo,
You're not a
no
psychic.
psychics should ever come here.
Yeah.
They will be, like, arrested on site.
Joy.
So, yeah, you have a psychic on board.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, so, like, I think maybe, yeah, so, like, you while you were hovering around in one of the intermediary hexes, you pick up, like, a ping from an exchange space station. You download, like, the Batul, like, welcome to Batul, guide. Like, you get the legislation for entering Batul, protocols for, like, immigration protocols, and you pull up the Thrust Meta section. and it's like, yeah, all sufferers of metadimensional extroversion syndrome should will only be allowed access to the planet on the most strict of circumstances. Will be restricted to the areas they can access. They must sign there's like a bajillion different extra forms they have to sign in the entry process. And if there's a list of here's all the laws you're breaking if you don't admit to having MES, which is psychic, the condition that leads to psychic powers. So yeah, papers that get you through customs easily, at the very least for one of you, might be useful. Or some fancy flying. Also that let you get that case on without it being searched. Because I mean, if you're going through an airport, you just put the case on a little scanner.
Yeah.
Or let sniffer doctor know, or whatever the hell the equivalent space has.
Walker, buddy.
You only have basic shielding, so I might not want that to happen. Yeah. He kind of. What's up?
I have a question. How important is this cargo you need? Is it worth maybe more than spending maybe one of your escape pods?
I mean,
what I'm trying to say is are your escape pods worth more than the cargo that you need? Because maybe
Otto, aren't you doing a job on this planet?
You need to spend a little to gain a little.
What I'm hearing, Otto, is that you want me to cover your expenses.
No.
You're getting paid when we get back to the Queen of Hearts. You can cover it then.
Yes, I am. But if we also get onto the planet, then you can get your cargo.
I agree. You can use one of my escape pods if that's part of your plan, but I expect my damages to be reimbursed. I'm carrying you here already.
Why, of course.
Yeah, his thing is basically your payment for the travel is that you get his stuff on board. How you do that's up to you,
yes.
but you're paying for it yourselves. He's not spending an extra dime. He's already spent money on life support and food and fuel and carrying you here.
How much would an escape pod run me? I'll look it up. I have the book. Never mind.
Okay,
Continue your GMing.
Yeah, so
Is it perhaps cheaper to get false papers, which are available for 500
guess,
credits?
I mean, it depends on you can either try and falsify them yourselves if you've got some computer skills. Try and fast talk your way through customs.
I actually have.
You have computers, don't you?
I have two computers. I have computers, but I also have you want charisma-based computers to try to falsify some papers?
I think it's still int-based computers to or wisdom-based computers to falsify stuff. But it might be, for instance, if someone
wording,
knows a smuggler on the planet, they might be able to get them papers. But that's it's whether you probably will end up having to pay for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very much how do you want to go about doing this? You can try and get in touch with a contact on the planet to sneak you aboard. You can try and bureaucracy the shit out of these people, and if there is literally a bureaucracy skill, and it is for the purpose of going, yo, here's our papers, we've done it in proper, now here's all the reasons why you're going to let us through.
Yeah.
Not search our stuff, and then you health inspected them. You threatened them with intergalactic, you're in violation of the intergalactic accords of dad and whatever. That's a bureaucracy, or whether you just
If it weren't for the fact they were so anti-psychic, I could probably blag my way in as a semi-official ambassador, but that's basically admitting that I have psychic powers, so probably not the best route.
Yeah, I mean, that one would possibly be enough to, get you their special psychic visa, but then you'd be heavily monitored while on the planet.
Yeah, that's true.
I quite like the escape pod plan. I think that's a cool one. Most notably because I think it'll probably be cheaper than... We have no money to pay any... Thing is, we can pay for the escape pod once we've got the money later. Whereas to get papers, we'll probably need to pay now. Let's face it, we're all skint.
Can I use Culture Criminal to see if there's anyone on the planet that we can
Absolutely.
get cheaper papers.
Yeah, absolutely. You
from
can see if you
or
know
that
a
we
smuggler
could
on there.
Persuade. Yeah. Can
Yeah.
I roll to see if I know anyone?
Hit me with that roll.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I love how good it is. Right, that's an charisma or int.
yeah, knowing a person
charisma.
is charisma. Because it also like, yeah. In this context, we've already got complications popping up in this mission, so I'm just gonna say, yeah, like your contacts left the Rasmedes. They were like, yeah, you know what? I'm not entirely comfortable with this weirdo racist planet, and left when they got enough money to get off. Do you want to try like writing some fake papers and stuff while you're?
It's
in
25,000 for an escape pod.
Oh,
Never mind.
Is that 25,000 for the pod, or is that 25,000 to install
That's
the
the
systems for a pod?
installation. So do you
Yeah,
want
so
like
that's-
a quarter of that?
Yeah. Is there no like note and or thing within like escape pod saying how much like a pod would cost you? Have a quick look.
If it's more than 500, then papers are cheaper.
Yeah, it'll probably be cheaper for papers.
Okay.
And even if we just get reasonably good fake ones, we could perhaps persuade them to let us in.
There's always the opportunity of fast talk customs.
I mean, can I also try a culture criminal to see if I know someone, or is that pushing it a bit?
You can both give it a try. I mean, what like might be a good idea is so if Gideon was to try and like falsify some papers for you, because he's got like 3 days worth of like transit time in Spike Space, and I mean if any of you have like bureaucracy or any other sort of skills, you can try and like roll to help.
I have lots of persuade
yeah, I've got one.
and
in
lots
this.
of
Oh wow.
stealth.
Yeah, no. Similarly, you're like
So you
your
want
contacts
whiz?
have kind of dried up a little bit on the
Yeah.
side. Sorry.
You wanted whiz for a...
No, I was gonna say like
papers?
if you try and like computer skill, like you're into falsifying
Yeah.
maybe the records of the ship.
Computers with whiz?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you said just a
That's
whiz
okay.
check. Yeah. Guess that's with whiz.
All right,
If anyone has
does anybody
like,
want to assist me?
if anyone can think of like some skill they've got that would help assist, like bureaucracy would be
Persuade?
one that pops to mind. Persuade could work, yeah.
I have a lot of persuade. I'll assist.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably got more than me. Due to my
What's-
minus
what's
one.
your
Uh,
bonus?
2 people can assist, but I think just in different ways. So if you
My bonus is 1.
Okay.
so you roll that, and then if you get above a 7, you give them a +1. Just that the persuade itself wouldn't do it.
That's true. So yeah, you roll the...
2d6. So roll your persuade. Evelyn.
That's
you're ready.
charisma as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
C.
Yeah, this is you kind of like pointing out.
Oh,
Okay, here's
damn
what
it.
you want to say. You're an expert, right?
Yes.
You can re-roll one
That's
skill
true.
check every segment of the show.
I would like to do that.
Re-roll that check then. There you
Yes.
go.
Awesome. All right.
There's that
Good
+1.
choice.
Fimba, it says once per hour.
Yeah, it's once per hour. The
crazy.
Once
show
per
is
in-game hour.
split
That's
into 3.
that is in-game hours.
Yeah, but like I don't want to time
Yes, a
3
segment of the
different
show
sets
makes
of
sense.
hours
Fair.
if I don't have to, because I have enough difficulty tracking the show.
There you
timer.
go.
Okay, yeah. So is that with the +1 factored in?
That's with +1. So I probably failed it first, and then she probably did some
No,
edits.
that's definitely enough to yeah. So, yeah, Gideon spends like 2 days in Spike, or like 3 days in Spike Space.
Not
just,
sleeping
like-
because it's not a thing.
yeah, you don't need to.
48 hours of
Are you even typing, or do you just like pull an Ethernet cable out of your wrist?
Oh yeah, maybe. No, he probably types.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, just in there.
Yeah. If you had a
Do
+1,
your hands
maybe.
move, or do like your fingers like slide out of the like main junction of your hand and just like? Yeah, we just see like the screen reflected off the screen of your face, and he's there for like a day and a half straight. And Jeff
He's
produces.
probably not
like,
a very fast typer.
Yeah.
He's probably doing the peck thing.
yeah, and so yeah, like, so you
Very
produce.
rhythmic. Really weird.
Yeah, just a bunch of extra like so like. I think maybe like the first you guys really know that he's even like. I think maybe Evelyn's been helping a little bit, but the first you know how well he's doing is when I think Walker yells down, "Why is my ship calling itself something different?"
Yeah.
Like,
The Walker, Texas merchant.
it's like, guys, Guys,
We
my
are
ship
known
is...
as the Dusty Rat.
Yeah. So the ship is just like its own IDs now call itself the Dusty Rat.
Yep.
And you like have this long list of like qualifications. Say the Dusty Rat is allowed to be on the planet for 4 days. It can do this, 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 and this, and this during this time. It's like no metadimensional electrophoresis syndrome. They've been pre-screened at a separate planet. Or like I think maybe there's a thing of like the crew has been previously vetted. You managed to produce like health records from the planet that show that none of you have MES on previous visits, so it's like you're just instantly cleared because it's like verified by doctors from their own planet that you've just like accessed their systems. It's like, yep, your papers are great. If this was papers, please, you'd get through.
Yay.
So yeah, you like come out of Spike Space. You get the like boom of planets like hailing you with different messages. Thrasmedes included, or like it's assorted. Get a thing saying like advertising to you. It's the Immortal Emperor will be doing a display of his powers in the capital city. I think it like talks about the holy. I don't know. I was thinking the Holy Centenary Stadium building site, and it's like he's like doing some grand display there. Like it'll be by your best calculations a few hours after you land. Yeah. There's a few other adverts for different businesses on the planet, things like that. A few like a little burst going, hey, just so you know, like alcohol is fine on this planet, slavery is illegal, please don't do this and this, please do this, like respect our culture, don't bring
That's
like
nice.
if you have any passengers afflicted with MES, they must be documented up before your arrival. Here is a subsidiary form if they are not already included within your paperwork. Thank you. Like just all this stuff.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you start homing in on Thrasmedes. Like, I think you just get a little buzz. Just say, you're sure this is gonna hold up, Gideon?
It should.
I have faith
very
in our
confident.
not robot buddy to interface well with the robot computers that they have, because
Yeah.
that's how the. I assume you're better at that, right? That is you are good with computers because you are computer. Is it offensive to call you a computer?
I am a Dongertron 17.
Yes. Cool. Yes, Dongatron. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it like code that carries over? I'm sorry. I'm just curious. Ooh, I love all the different creatures.
Welcome,
Kenobi,
Toki1
thank you so much.
Kenobi,
Oh, there.
to the stream. Thank you for the follow. 6 people remain.
Thanks, buddy. We need 6 more. 6 more. For
I'll
you.
give you if one of the ways that may help, might not help, might help, is if you go to the Twitters of both myself and Encounter Roleplay and retweet the shit
That's
out
true.
of the things we've put up.
Yep.
Like the literal tell your friends thing does work.
Yeah. So, guys, if you have already followed and you're like, oh man, I really want to view your decision, yeah, just go and retweet us. Just do it.
Yeah. Do all of the socials as
think you
people
should
who
do-
are more
it's like,
famous than
follow,
me
and
would say.
subscribe.
Yes, there we go.
Yep.
But we don't have subscribe.
Like,
buttons,
follow,
we're
and
not that
follow.
fancy. Yes.
Like, follow, and retweet.
There we go. All right. So yeah.
It is based off a binary code of a sequence of zeros and ones.
Oh, it's a bit like Morse code then.
A bit,
Excellent.
but not involving clicks and whirs.
There's also some quantum shit.
Hey, you
wrapped up
make
in
a
there.
fair number of clicks and words yourself. No?
Cannot
Cool.
compute.
Yeah, I think at
Okay.
this point you're interrupted by the ship's like say, all right, being hailed by the planet's central systems now. This works. And yeah, like you hit. I think kind of a minute later, so maybe like a computer screen flashes up with like call from Thrasmedes government's like Thrasmedes, the planet of Thrasmedes is government immigration control, whatever the hell it's called. And then it like gets accepted. It's like a minute. The call lasts like a minute, closes, and then like, I think you hear like the voice conquers is like, "Woo! All right, taking us in. Mind out for the bump, people. switch from artificial to natural gravity is always a bit of a weird one. And yeah, you are clear to land in the I don't know what this place is called. I don't have a name for the city, but the starport in Thrasmetis, the capital city.
You've got to give the capital a name.
I do. I need the name of an old emperor. That's what I need.
Nero.
Sidious.
It should, considering this is like an Indian one.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Timur. Just about. I mean, he burnt Delhi to the ground, but it's kind of related.
This one. Give me a good name.
Gandhi.
The city of Pakores.
Gandhi.
Yeah, you are landing in the city of Pakores.
Cool.
That's the Pakores spaceport. Yeah. So like I guess you get like a view of the world out of the window as you're landing. So let me remind myself what the hell this world looks like. It's nice and warm. Yeah, like it kind of, I guess it looks almost like a kind of India would. It's like I think you get like a readout from the ship's onboard computer of like
Space Agrabah.
The current temperature in the local climate of this planet is I'm trying to think about like
Fucking
27
hot.
degrees. Yeah, it's pretty fucking hot to be honest. Like 30 something degrees Celsius. Like microclimates include and like there will be a weather analysis patterns indicate there will be a rainfall lasting approximately 1 hour in 6 hours. Yeah, this place is like, and from the looks of it, it's the city you're headed into is a very, very big city, very like populated city. This place is packed, but like beyond that, you can see like it's pretty lush, like past the edge of the city, but there's a fairly decent amount of pollution in the center.
Alright, and squad, let's get going. We got places to be. Notos, try and keep your... Nah, you can't look inconspicuous. Look as inconspicuous as you can, so that they don't think you're trying to look inconspicuous.
It's good advice. It's good
I
advice.
just kind of cocked my head to the side, looking at him like, really?
Right then, let's go! Just stride out. And it strides out this moment he's outside, he's like, fuck, that's hot.
Yeah, no, yeah, this place is warm as hell.
It goes back
yeah.
and like, takes off a couple of layers.
Yeah,
Comes back out wearing like cargo shorts.
Before you leave, Gideon, Walker gives you like, I think maybe downloads a thing to. Do you have a compad or something?
Yep.
Yeah, he like
On my person.
sends you a message to like your compad and just goes, all right, here's the deals of the guy. Man's name is Jace. Operates out of a bar called the Green Vase or something.
Jay?
Jace. Jase. Operates out. Yeah.
Should we split up and look for clues?
No, I think you've got two jobs to do on this planet.
Yeah.
The impression he's given you is that this guy has screwed him over, and will not give up his goods willingly. Maybe he's found a better buyer or whatever. But yeah. So, this guy's like, this man owes me my product. Find it, get it.
Get the primary task done first.
But yeah, so so you've got a few. I think maybe so. Like you're supposed to meet this man, Mahinda Rao, and he said he'll meet you in the like there's a certain cafe, like, and he's gonna use the cover of the big like crowds of people for this like festival. Like there's a festival that surrounds this like centenary celebration, which it will. The big event is like the Emperor's gonna turn up and do something fucking awesome.
Cool.
Will he
Yes.
demonstrate his new groove?
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, it's
Nice.
his 100-year-old groove, but yes.
You can teach an old dog new tricks.
The Cusco for poison. Poison's the poison for Cusco. The poison that is specifically brewed to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. That poison.
That is what we are carrying currently, yes.
That is what we're smoggling. We're smuggling Cusco's poison.
Yeah.
That's an amazing film.
Now I really want to call him Cusco, even though it's like the wrong side of the world culturally.
Yeah.
It's
so I
around
guess,
about
yeah,
the
we-
equator.
Yeah, that's not a large area at all.
Alright. I'll take a +1 with me to that meeting, and the other two of you can be on perimeter watch, like, just to make sure nothing shady happens.
Well, I should probably go on the perimeter with my, like, bird eyesight and sniper rifle.
Yep, if you can.
Yeah, this country like is pretty happy with open carry. Like a sniper rifle's pretty conspicuous though. Like,
Yeah, I'm just
I
gonna
think, like,
go.
they're happy with you. They're happy with you having guns. They're not necessarily like, yo, sniper rifles.
That's not
like,
safety.
Personal protection is okay, and like having like basic armor and stuff is like they're fine with that. But a sniper rifle is like no one brings a sniper rifle out unless they intend to like murder a
Yeah.
person.
My sniper rifle's in my bag. It's not readied. My mag rifle is readied.
Oh my god, you have a fucking mag rifle?
Yep.
Jesus.
They're surprisingly
Okay.
cheap.
Don't forget to buy ammo, by the way.
I already bought ammo.
Okay.
I don't actually have any ammo.
I thought you had like 2 clips of ammo for your mag pistol.
I never actually bought any ammo.
Oh, fair. I thought you
I
bought-
probably
oh,
should.
never mind.
Where is ammo?
Okay, so yeah, so you get to this big ass festival and like it's packed. There is like the wonderful sense of Indian cuisine, and the like. I
This
think you get like
halal smells
assorted
amazing.
fruits like hanging from everywhere. Do you have any way of perceiving smell, Gideon?
This halal looks amazing. Fix that.
God damn it. God fucking damn it. You're the worst and I hate you. Yeah, you see like stalls selling like colourful, like very colourful fruits coming from, like, if you've not been on Thrash Meadows before, you've probably never seen them before. And yeah, like this place is pretty advanced, so like there's no like donkeys in the street and stuff. It's all like cars. It's very busy and packed. Like it's not lost that kind of vibrant sense. And it's a riot of color in these streets. But it's actually like kind of once you're in this area, it's actually not too bad. Like the pollution is not as thick as you would expect from a city of this many people. A lot of the cars are like mag and stuff, so they don't actually have that much in the way of exhaust fumes. There's a few old models here and there that kind of more towards like as you get like you walk through kind of like as you get further away from the center of the city towards this big fucking construction site where they're building this huge stadium, you do see some like poorer areas that have some like older kind of more traditional cars with like combustion engines and things like that. Evidently were just brought over and have been harvested or rebuilt and whatever. There's a
Now
bit of
these are more my kind of areas.
Probably not relevant, but remember, I have slightly worse sense of smell.
Okay, yeah, no, you're maybe enjoying this not quite as much, or whatever your the Avoc palate is adjusted to. This place is definitely like there's a lot of very spicy scents in the air.
Worms and shellfish.
Fair enough. Yeah, they actually religion like certain parts of maybe older Earth religions are carried over here, but not like it's not. We're not in on a Hindu planet. So like alcohol is freely sold. They've got some like local spirits that maybe one of you like has a like maybe just a sniff of and like maybe blows your fucking head off. This place doesn't do flavor by half. And yeah, so yeah, you kind of make your way towards this big festival. And yeah, what are people doing? Or are we just waiting for Mahinda?
Yeah. As far as I was concerned, who's with me in the shop?
I'll be
Like-
with you,
Cool.
Okay, and
since
so
I'm only useful at short range.
so we've got the 2 people.
The two
So,
people being
Repsol-
doing the meet, and the
yeah.
2 completely inconspicuous other people.
Yeah, like
being inconspicuous.
You
there
got
is
it.
no way in hell you can comfortably wear your
We'll be fine.
your cloak, by the way, Notos. So you were getting a lot of looks. Like, this isn't the most like alien populated planet. Is it widely known that your entire race is like latently psychic?
Me.
Yeah.
Well, no, only 20% is post.
Oh, okay, fair. That's better than
I could.
humans.
Most of the people that have left are psychics, but then the rest are pilots.
fair.
So they would be kind of like, there's a chance, but he's here, so he's
Yeah.
probably just a pilot because I'm on the planet.
Fair enough.
And besides, I still have my like hood and stuff because I come from a planet,
no,
so I'd be fine.
it's way too fucking hot for you to wear that shit out here. Like, at least comfortably.
You only said 27 degrees.
No, I upped it to 30.
Okay, fine then.
And within the crush of people and like cooking food and all that shit, like it's buzzing area. Yeah, so I think you get a few kids like following you around, or like I think you see the odd kid like poking out from behind his mum's leg, like going, and just staring at you. Actually, this applies both Gideon and actually, Gideon, you're perfectly comfortable in a hoodie and like all of your like big heavy I'm not a robot honest wear, because you don't feel heat. Yeah. So that's you're fine actually in that respect. But you get a few weird looks from people. Of like,
People probably still look weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
why
like,
are
what
you
the fuck?
wearing that?
Yeah. It's a bit strange. So yeah, you're moving around. Okay, so yeah, you're sitting in this little like cafe table, having ordered some like local drink or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think space Coke is still a pretty
Spoke.
widely sold spoke.
Space whiskey.
Okay, you're like, yeah, fuck it. It might be. It's 1 o'clock in the it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. but in
Whiskey.
Space. It was 9 p.m. It's 3 p.m. in space. So you're sitting there drinking. This guy wanders up and goes, "Are you friends of Eric's?"
Why, yes, I am. Thank you very much. My name is Lepsop Theatre. Pleasure to do business with you.
This guy, like, yeah. So this guy is like Indian descent, big curly hair. He looks a little nervous, but like not unduly so, just kind of watchful. And yeah, he's like kind of handsome.
Take my hand.
Yeah, no, he shakes your hand. Got a little bit of a scraggly beard going, but nothing. Evidently, it looks like the person who's trying to grow a beard but can't. He's quite young. He's like probably younger than you as well. Actually, he's maybe like mid-20s. He shakes your hand and is like, "Oh, right, pleasure. Mahinda Rao. Thank you so much for coming.
Not a problem. Pleasure to help. Freedom.
Wonderful. Thank you.
For money.
He nods. Yes, quite. We will get that sorted. I think it's at this point that there's like a big roar of the crowd. And some huge like TVs turn on all around this big like. I think you're like sitting on the edge of like a kind of a square. The square is massive, and the other two of you are in the thick of the crowd. This roar comes over, and like these screens turn on, and you see this platform, and there's this man standing on top of it in these like I don't know what the kind of like traditional wear would be, but it's like there's lots of like flowing like off the side like
robes.
He's wearing like white, and it's trimmed with like the smallest amount of gold, like in this sea of color of his culture. The man who is evidently, just looking at him, you can tell the emperor is wearing like very minimalist, like white flowing robes, and he's very unadorned. There is a thin like grey circlet around his head, and that's kind of it that he's wearing for jewelry. And he's just standing there, looking like very serene. The thing is, though, if this is his centenary, you want his genes. He doesn't look a day older than Mahinda. They look like, yeah, like. So his hair is like slicked back and very like neatly kept, and he's clean shaven. But yeah, he looks like maybe 26.
I take this all in my stride because I'm walking around with a robot person, a Dongatron, and a bird person.
Yeah, so
it's
I
like
think
this is a weird space world. Yes.
Yeah, so an announcer comes across and speaking in. I'm just gonna say Indian. I feel that that's wrong. My brain is stalling though.
Bengali?
Is it just Indian?
It's not Indian.
It's not Indian.
Hindi.
Hindi, thank you.
There's Hindi.
Yeah, I thought you said Indian, Joe. So I was
Pashto is like Pakistan.
and I was confused why you were correcting me by saying the same thing as me.
It was
Hindi.
Bengali, right? Isn't that Bengali?
Well, regardless, the native tongues of
Yes.
India.
Of a dialect.
I will Google it and be more prepared for the next session, but I had to put together everything else. Yeah, and like subtitles appear in English. And yeah, you get the his illustrious Majesty Emperor Jaipal will now perform a display of his power to celebrate his 100th year on the throne of Thrasymedes. Long may it shine as the jewel of the sector. The camera zooms out until you realize this camera had ridiculous resolution. This is on a helicopter on floating above the square, and you see the the stadium ground. Except there's not even a foundation. It's just a big cleared flat grey area, flat dusty area, and there's a crap ton of building materials to one side, and then just this little platform that he's standing on. And there's a small little camera window at the top right that shows him still, and it's and you just see him slowly extend a hand. And I think it comes out hand down, and then he just flips it palm up, and moves down slightly, and then you just see you hear a thunderous thump, and on the screen, the ground hammers down, and this big foundation is just there suddenly, and he then flicks his hand up again, and just one motion, and materials start flying off and assembling this structure, and this very high resolution picture of him. All he's done is that he's not sweating. He's not showing a single sign of discomfort. I'm gonna get with Notos. You're a psychic. This man is doing things that if we're to take the ranks 1 through 9 things, he's performing rank 10 powers as if it was literally just waving his hand around.
So we can take him, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this from now at this point, the rest of you are watching, and you can see the building starting to tower up above the crowds around. It's becoming visible, and it just assembles as he I think you don't even see him consulting blueprints or anything. He's just literally he waved a hand, and this entire thing starts to assemble. And yeah, none of you know of technology that could do this building like this. I'm going to tell you that for free. So yeah, and then yeah, it's 20 minutes maybe, and I think even Mahinda goes quiet and just watches.
Wow.
I think whilst it's going on, I'm just look, we're here to do a deal. Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
big, fancy, impressive stuff. You've no idea how many fucking incredibly impressive things I've seen in my time here. It's an awful lot of incredibly impressive fucking things.
Yeah.
Can we
Mahinda
get our
kind
deal
of
done?
Looks at you, he's the God Emperor doesn't display his abilities very often. This is, he kind of sighs, a wonder of the sector, Mr. Theta.
It's amazing.
You kind of go, you're a hard man to impress. I can respect that.
I've been impressed too many times over the last 2 years that now nothing phases me anymore.
He chuckles. Very well. Well.
If you like, we can turn the table round. That way you can keep looking over my shoulder and.
It's fine. I can manage. Have you brought the case with you?
Some of my associates. I think I probably left it with I've forgotten the name. The robot.
Gideon.
Gideon. It's with an associate of mine. Once you have the payment, we'll have the case.
I understand. Of course.
You guys don't necessarily have the best of reputations.
One man's freedom fighter. I understand. He kind of nods and goes, very well. And slides a compad across the table towards you and goes, this compad, you type in a code here. This is done through assorted channels. My employer will then, this directs the account that you know.
Mm-hmm.
My employer will verify the contents of the crate. The exchange will handle the rest.
And how much actually are we getting paid?
You guys receive your payment through from the account of Wildcards itself.
Yeah.
You're making 800 credits each for this job. They aren't paying that heavily. But I think it's this point Mahinda kind of leans forward. Your employer discussed things you are to take off world with you when you leave, you will need to come by and collect those.
What?
Yeah.
Like, I
So this.
I'm obviously not there. But
Yeah, I
I
think
thought
so
we were
this-
dealing with another party.
Yeah, no, that's the thing of like basically. So I guess Eric must have mentioned this. I forgot this detail. But Eric was basically like, the thing because they can't pay well. There's a bunch of rando terrorists on this rock. So their thing was like, okay, we can't pay you. We're giving you a thing. And yeah, so it's like it's kind of. I think so. Actually, no. He just brought it with him because that's the way it would work. So I think he pulls up a little briefcase and slides from his table towards you and goes, "That is the second part of the payment as requested by your employer."
I flip it out and look at it.
Yeah. So inside is I think actually like the first there's like a compad in the top right in like the top left corner. And then like the other part of it is a bunch of strange looking doohickeys. Is the best you can tell.
Interesting. Yes, everything seems to be in order.
Wonderful. He nods. We would prefer to keep convenient and external allies on side, as you can understand. When you are on the wrong side on this planet, it can feel a little lonely.
Seems like he should be on your side. Guess you guys just aren't good enough for him. And like I would stand up and like,
Yeah, I think
till next time.
Evelyn maybe Repsol doesn't notice this because he doesn't give a fuck. But Evelyn, you definitely notice like a flash of anger across Mahinder's face. It's evident that this is like a mask he puts on to go out in public, and he shakes your hands, puts his business and begins to walk away. Like buttons this little jacket he's wearing as he walks off. And yeah, so like what the other two of you like? Are you? I presume one of like at least Notos is like raptly watching this massive display of what would seem to be psychic powers, but on an unheard of scale. So I guess Gideon, what you see, just kind of out of the corner of like your like perception, you notice this like a strange flash, like a glint off of something metallic, and you turn and you see these two guys like in the crowd. One of them like just flicks out his arms, and the crowd around him like falls back, and the other guy pulls like this long metal tube out of a bag. Like you see it like clicking, like kind of telescoping outwards, and holsters it and points it in the direction of the platform that the Emperor is standing on. And then I think the last thing we see before we cut to break is he pushes a button on the side. There's a and a rocket flies towards the Emperor, and we just like I think the last bit of the stadium falls into place, and he turns, like looking like languidly and kind of bored, and on the screens the rest of you see as the Emperor takes a rocket like to the chest and it explodes, and that's where we're going to break before everything goes to hell. So we will return in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you shortly.